A blockbuster trade just went down that has me absolutely perplexed, bamboozled. I don't know what to do, so I'm recording a podcast. I'm recording a video here at 2 a.m. to get my thoughts out because I feel like with the move that just went down between the Boston Celtics, Washington Wizards, and Memphis Grizzlies, it's an indication to Toronto that they need to get involved with something. They have to jump into this absolutely insane trade market that's popping off right now because we have a guy that's a more valuable defender than Marcus Smart on this team, and somehow Smart, who was a liability, was just an absolute non-factor at times during the playoffs this postseason, got traded for an elite point guard and 2 first-round picks. If that's the market, we have a lot of players that can net us some insane assets. If that's the market for strong defensive players out there in the trade block. And a guy that got dealt, I just mentioned him, Tyus Jones. He got dealt for what looks to me like, I don't want to say pennies on the dollar, but I feel like he got sold for nothing. So if there's a way we could jump in, slide into his and pick him up, squeeze our way into this trade, get Washington to flip him towards us, that could be an absolute steal for the Toronto Raptors. So let's dive into it. I'm just rambling. I'm just hyped up at the start of this video. Basically, a blockbuster went down, right? The rumored Celtics trade, the Kristaps Porzingis, it fell through, and then this one ended up happening where the Celtics acquired Kristaps Porzingis, the number 23 pick in this year's draft, and a 2024 first-round pick. So they acquired 2 firsts, and Kristaps, and only had to give up Marcus Smart. Which I think is just baffling, and it sucks because the Celtics are in the Atlantic Division. Now, I know Kristaps is a guy that's dealt with some injuries and all that, but if he's healthy, he could be a nice fit there down in Boston. But the thing that really caught my eye, and I already ranted about it a little bit in the intro, is Marcus Smart took 2 firsts, despite the fact he's on a big contract, his defense regressed this most recent season, and his shooting was a liability in the playoffs. This man, 2 first-round picks, and the Grizzlies ended up giving up Tyus Jones, which shocks me. Absolutely perplexes me from the Memphis Grizzlies, because honestly, given age, given, kind of everything that they bring to the table, the career trajectory, all these types of things, I personally view Tyus Jones as kind of an upgrade over Smart, and call me crazy, maybe it's the 2 a.m. brain talking that's getting me out here on these videos, but Tyus Jones, you look at his stats, sure, 10 points per game, 5 assists aren't going to blow you away, but 37% of the three-point line, if you look at his stats as a starter, right, Tyus Jones averaged 16 points per game, 8 assists, 4 rebounds in 22 games as a starter for the Memphis Grizzlies, and proved not just during the regular season without Ja, but in the playoffs, he has that poise. He has that leadership ability. He can command a winning group of basketball players and get them a bunch of wins. So Tyus Jones would be the perfect backup point guard in Toronto. Now, I know it's probably unrealistic. I know I'm probably dreaming here, but if there's a way we could get Washington to flip him somehow to us, in the next week or so, and if that's the price, right? If his value is 2 first-round picks less than Marcus Smart, maybe the value's a possibility. I don't know. I'm just thinking in my brain here, if we can get a player, a guard, right, where the Toronto Raptors have certainly lacked that guard depth. If we can get a guy like Tyus Jones on our bench, heck, even starting if we lose Fred VanVleet for that price, we got to get in on that. There's no reason why Masai Ujiri shouldn't be calling the phones, figuring out what's on the go with this. There's no reason why. That would be an absolute steal. And apparently the Raptors may have been in talks. They may have been in conversations. I peeped the Grizzlies Reddit once this deal went down to see what their thoughts were on the whole situation. As I was shocked. I thought this was a big L for the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies, however, and this came out before this deal was going down. Jake Fisher, who people roast Jake Fisher, but he got this one right. The Grizzlies, however, are exploring trade opportunities to help Tyus Jones get a full-time starting position elsewhere. League sources have told Yahoo Sports. While Memphis has prioritized upgrading the team's wing depth. Jake also mentions the Raptors, Spurs, and Clippers as targets. So apparently the Raptors may have tried to get in on there. I guess they tried to do Tyus Jones a solid. Maybe that's why they took back a lesser return. I don't even know what to call it at this point, but he's on the Wizards. He'd certainly be the starting point guard for the Wizards. I mean, he's going to outplay Monte Morris or wherever they got running the show over there in Washington. But I don't know. acquiring Tyus Jones would be elite, or if that's the market for a guy at his caliber of player on a really good contract as well, the Raptors have to jump in on that. And the second thing is Marcus Smart. If that's if Marcus Smart is out here netting you 2 first-round picks and Kristaps Porzingis, right? 2 firsts and a guy that's averaging a 20 piece, who you can pretty well pick what contract you're going to give him. If that's the market value for Marcus Smart, what on earth is the market value for OG Anunoby? It's got to be 5 firsts and Victor Wembanyama. That's a real unicorn. Right? The Celtics getting 2 firsts and an alien for Marcus Smart. Raptors are getting 5 firsts and an alien. That's my take. Obviously an exaggeration before you guys go at me in the comment section. But, if that's the market value for an elite defender, I'm not saying trade OG by any means, but the Toronto Raptors have a lot of guys, 3-and-D players on this team, and if a defensive guy like Marcus, I know he's the DPOY a couple seasons ago, but man, if you watched him play, he's definitely taken a step back this most recent season. It's something the Raptors just have to look at. They have to get in on, and all the rumors that are floating around, not sure what's going to happen, right? The Raptors just kind of have to figure something out at this point. And, I just made a video regarding the trades likely falling through regarding Scoot Henderson and Pascal Siakam. He's not likely going to be going to the Portland Trailblazers. Now, a trade could drop 10 minutes and shock everyone or something like that. But, the market just seems ripe for something crazy to happen. I'm not saying the Raptors should go out there and completely tear down their team or completely trade everybody or something like this. But when I saw Tyus Jones go for that type of return, it just had me confused. I had to come out and do a video on it. The Woj bombs at 2 a.m. They hit different. I might watch this video in the morning and be like, Ben, you were talking madness out there on the vid last night, but I don't know. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on potential deals the Toronto Raptors could make, because we certainly need a backup point guard, right? We need someone, maybe, right, Darko can come in and develop a Malachi Flynn, a Delano Banton, one of these dudes, a Jeff Doughton Jr., and Jeff Doughton is a guy I think can be an elite backup point guard, so maybe it's less of a need now that we have a new coach. But Tyus Jones has been one of my favorite potential Toronto Raptors over the past couple seasons. So to see him go for such a minimal price, maybe I have a Tyus Jones bias. I feel I can already sense the comments. I'm reflecting now. I'm pondering as I'm recording this video. I don't know. I'd like to see a Tyus Jones deal happen. World, let's make it happen. Basketball gods, make something go down. Let's trade a 2nd round pick, a future 2nd, to acquire Tyus Jones. I don't know. Give Washington something random. Let Malachi Flynn run your starting point guard position, Washington, and give us Tyus Jones at this point. But you guys are best to make this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Hit 28,000 subs, so you guys are the best for hitting that target there. Apologize for the rambly, especially ended this video. Just, I'm excited. I'm excited for the NBA draft. I'm excited for all the crazy stuff that's about to go down during this offseason, because the Raptors, they're ripe for some madness to happen. So, you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.